Okay, and now we're on. So James, you have a shout out for Glenn to start today. James.
That I do, Mike.
Okay.
Glenifer, thank you for the headphones. Such a nice gesture for somebody that's 1-0 in the league. Yeah.
And we can, and I don't have to freeze up my computer by constantly muting you so everybody else could talk, which is very nice.
Yay.
So we can have normal conversations now. All right. So I actually didn't bring up, and I should have brought up the transactions tab to start, but I wanted to ask everybody's opinion. This was the first week we did free agent auction bidding, or I guess the first real week we did free agent auction bidding.
Mhm.
And I was curious, what did you guys think of how it went?
I thought it went great. It was pretty awesome to be able to really claim anybody that you wanted to. And I like some of the interesting bids that were put out. I love it.
Yeah, I think
James,
it's
you
solid.
didn't, James, you didn't bid on anybody, did you?
No, but I do like.
Oop, you still there?
Yeah, I lost them. James?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. I
No,
was saying you didn't bid on anybody.
I did try to, but for some reason, it never went through. So I got them for free.
Who'd you bid on?
Osweiler.
Oh,
So
well, that's good that you
yeah,
didn't bid on them. It cost you money.
Well, that's
you
the
know,
thing.
dumb Polish luck, I guess. I don't know.
That's the thing. That's the weird thing because you got to figure out whether you want to bid on somebody or not. Because I saw Mo spent $15 on Brandon LaFell,
Yeah.
and she was the only one to
Oof.
bid on him. She could have had him for $1.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
That was rough. I didn't understand. I knew that she was hurting at wide receiver, but I don't think LaFell's the answer.
well, that's a. And we'll get to her team in a bit, but she got completely snake bitten at wide receiver in the first week of the season, which, there's not. I don't know what to say about that. That was just bad luck. Where
Yeah.
it hit her really hard early on.
Oh yeah.
So we'll jump in to the games this week, and we're gonna go in order of how. So game of the week between essentially two teams that I picked to lose last week, and both teams made me look really stupid. So it's Joe against Justine, 1-0 versus 1-0. I'm sure Justine was thrilled to kind of have me eat my words last week.
Yes. So she says, "quote Fuck you, Mike. My team rules. You suck." Exact words.
I will say her team was impressive. I mean, I didn't expect her to win, let alone. I mean, she won. She beat Glenn pretty solidly.
That was a solid win.
Yeah. Joe actually did the same with Chris too. Both of these teams looked really good last week. Eh, Whether these teams will continue like that, I don't know. But looking at the matchup this week, it's both of these teams got surprise performances. Joe, I think, was the bigger surprise because DeMarco Murray and Amir Abdullah each put up 22 points last week. I don't think anybody was expecting that. I think Abdullah, that may be the greatest fantasy game he'll ever have in his life.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't see him ever doing that ever again. It's tough. I do Justine's team. I was very critical of her team, I admit, but her team's actually fairly deep, especially at running back, considering she's got three right now 3 solid starters, and she still has Le'Veon Bell suspended.
Yeah, her team's going to be
So
nasty once he gets back.
she could, yeah. I mean,
And even at wide
I was
receiver, too. Sorry.
Well, that was the thing. I was thinking, Justine, if you could get one win in the first 3 games while Bell was suspended, she'd be okay. Now she may be. I think she's going to be more than okay moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because she has Allen Robinson, that's a WR1. Baldwin's like a high 2. I think Kelvin has to be considered as a high 2. I mean, he more or less looked like the Kelvin Benjamin of 2 years ago, really. Like lots of volume. I mean, he still isn't exactly like great in terms of route running or speed, but that's basically the guy that I had 2 years ago, and he was like a wide receiver 2, sometimes like a 1, depending on the game.
Mm-hmm.
He looked real good.
Yeah, I don't know. So this was a like toss up according to ESPN's projections a few days like for most of the week, and the projection changed today. And Joe now has a 4-point advantage, so somebody got a boost in the projections. I don't know where, but I don't. This is a hard game to pick. James, what do you think about this matchup?
Well, it's tough. You're absolutely right, Mike. Both teams surprised week 1.
Mm-hmm.
At their teams as a whole right now, and it's hard to go. I'm probably gonna have to go with Justine as the underdog, only because I think, and this isn't trying to be biased as a Giants fan, I think the Giants defense is better. So not that Drew Brees isn't going to put up points. I think he's going to get his. But I can actually see Jacksonville going to San Diego and doing some work. Because I think the Keenan Allen injury definitely popped the balloon, if you will, on their season. Outside of that, running backs even, wideouts, in my opinion, pretty solid both ways. Tight end, I'm willing to give the advantage to Witten over Fleener. Again, that's just me, but the only curveball or game changer I can see for Joe is Arian Foster. If he plays, I think he can definitely do some damage. He definitely showed up week 1 a little bit. So it's obviously it's a toss-up, but my gut feeling is Justine. With all due respect, Joe.
It's Arian Foster. It sounds like he's going to play. Of course, it is Arian Foster. So who the hell knows? His injury problems are well documented. I mean, James, you've had him for how many seasons? You know how frustrating Foster can be. The only thing, it's there's a number of things that make me nervous on both sides. Obviously, Joe, he's got to be thinking. I mean, it's too early to tell for sure, but he's got to be thinking about alternatives at tight end if Kobe Fleener doesn't show up.
Of course,
because Fleener was a disaster last week. Breeze isn't throwing to him, and he doesn't seem to be a fit for the offense. As far as Justine's side, the only thing that makes me nervous with her is I don't think Spencer Ware is going to be able to put up a big game against Houston like he did against San Diego. And the projections show that. And the other thing is I don't like Doug Martin's matchup against Arizona. Larry, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I can. So I think it's more. I just think that Joe's team has a lot of numbers boosting that I don't really understand. Dula getting 12 points, I don't get that. Tennessee's defense was good last week. It was just they had 2 turnovers that led to a touchdown. So I don't think it was so much their defense was bad. I mean, they bottled up AP pretty good. And I don't like the Fleener projection. That's really high. And then Foster, too. They're going into New England, and Dolphins usually don't play that well in New England. So I don't think that's going to be that much of a problem. I do think that I disagree about Spencer Ware. I think he's still going to have a good game. I think that they're going to probably play from behind, and he had like a bunch of yards receiving. I forget how much it was, but he was real good in terms of that. So I'm going to side with Justine's team. I think it's not going to be as close as these projections are, because I more feel that Joe's I don't like the Abdullah projection. I think that's too high, and the same with Fleener and Foster. I think that those projections are way too high.
Hey, Larry, I'm glad you're not biased in this by any ways or anything, right?
Of course not.
Yeah, seriously. That was a good point about Spencer Ware, though, because Kansas City was down, 3 touchdowns last week, and basically had to go through the air to come from behind. And, Alex Smith will throw to wide receivers because he's Alex Smith.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, when the statistics were down, I was scared because and the ticker on CBS, they were just showing Spencer Ware's rushing yards. And for most of the games, I think he had 30. And then we didn't I didn't bother to check the receiving yards. I was like, oh God, Justine's getting killed. And then when the app came back up, we're like, holy shit. He got 100, I forget how many yards he got through the air, but he had an insane amount of catches. So I definitely worry about my Charles usage. If we were not going to be accused of collusion, I would try and trade for Spencer Ware, but I honestly don't know if there's actually a fair trade for that, barring selling Dez for that.
It's going to be interesting once Charles comes back. Once he's back, how Kansas City uses the running backs. I don't think it's going to be a problem with Justine because she has Le'Veon Bell on top of Martin and Langford, who are, I guess decently established starters. So she's got wiggle room. I was very critical of Justine last week. I agree with you guys. I don't like the projections, and I'm picking Justine. Yeah, kind of reluctantly, but I'm picking Justine.
Whoa, Mike going with an underdog. Wow.
Whoa.
What? I don't go with underdogs?
Oh,
I mean, last week you were all about the safe picks, but
yeah, and and believe it or not, and to be fair, I did go with the favorites last week, and I believe 4 underdogs won last week. By the way, I think was what I counted. So,
and one of them's on this chat.
And one of them is on the chat.
Yeah, she has something she wants to say to you.
Okay.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hello, Monastra.
Hello.
I don't like that tone.
I just wanted to stop by just to say a quick fuck you.
That's basically it's basically what I told you before in the first half of this conversation. She told me specifically to say that.
Yes, I did.
I didn't think that she would actually come out here and say it herself. Sorry about that, Mike.
Yeah, I should be awake right now, but I am.
Hey, Justine. Justine.
Yes?
If you noticed, he didn't pick me either, and I think you would like my team name and team logo right now if you had a chance to take a look at it.
I have not.
Well, when you have a chance to take a look at it, I think you'll appreciate it.
I think Larry's trying to pull it up right now.
Trying to find it.
So am I gonna? So since I picked Justine to win this week, if she ends up losing, am I gonna get another FU next week?
Yeah, if you jinx me, yeah.
Oh boy, I can't win.
Nope. You're a guy.
Yeah, no.
I never win. Right, babe?
Well,
right.
Anyway, it was nice seeing you to pop in.
Bye, Justine.
Are you staying?
Are
you staying?
I can stay for a minute.
Okay. All right, I guess she's not going.
Okay.
I'll hang out.
Carry on with the podcast.
Okay, so we're moving on to probably the game that nobody wants to talk about. So we'll go quick. Steve, is Steve 0-1 kind of a hard luck on one because he played against me last week, scored 151 points, and ended up losing. So
Sucks.
yes. John, on the other hand, is 1-0. However, he basically won because Mo choked away the game last week with the Rams defense doing absolutely nothing in the late Monday night game. So it's weird because it seems like the record should be reversed. Steve's team played he got big performances from Carlos Hyde and D'Angelo Williams last week.
Mm-hmm.
Can they repeat them? Probably not. Hyde's playing against the Panthers. Williams has the Bengals. It's not likely that Woj is going to be able to put up another 151 points like he did last week. John's team, on the other hand, is anybody else? I didn't see anything of the Vikings and Titans, but what happened to Adrian Peterson last week?
I don't know. From what I read online, basically, is that I think he got bottled up. I think his stats were pretty bad. And like I said when we were talking about the Titans in the previous one, that I think that the Titans defense actually did like fairly well. I'll see if I can pull up the box score. But
What, Larry? While you pull up the box score. Sorry, I'm on having a few brewskis. Not the best idea.
always
But,
the best idea.
It's always the best idea.
Fair enough.
Jinx.
Yeah, I had margaritas, so.
Yeah.
Oh well, excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
But
Classy.
the one thing with Adrian Peterson, though, I'll say is when your quarterback situation is god awful at this point, it's very hard for a defense to not just hone in on the running game. So, not trying to take anything away from Tennessee's defense. I mean, they held an NFL offense to what they did last week is surprising, but I think it's going to take a little bit for warm up a little bit and see.
Yeah. So fun fact.
Go ahead, Larry.
Adrian
Sorry.
Peterson actually went 19 carries for 31 yards, 1.6 average. Sean Hill actually passed for 236 yards, 18 of 33. No touchdowns. No offensive touchdowns were scored.
Oh, well.
So that's take that as you want.
Yeah. Well, Bradford is supposed to play this week, right?
Yeah, that's the last I heard.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see what changes, because I agree with you, James. The quarterback situation definitely didn't help. I mean, Sean Hill is not a good quarterback.
Well, in turn, if it was Teddy Bridgewater, I think AP would be going crazy right about now.
Well, I think everybody will agree that without Adrian Peterson, if he puts up poor numbers, I mean, John's in trouble because his wide receivers don't inspire, even though Mike Evans and Dante Moncrief both had good games last week. They still don't, to me, they don't inspire. I don't think Evans is going to put up 20 points against Arizona.
No. But I wouldn't count out Moncrief or Crabtree.
Bentley.
Yeah, Bentley.
It's been a lot of barking tonight, just as a warning.
Yeah, I agree. I do actually kind of like Crabtree. Yeah, no, I think my vote is for Woj. I think he will win.
I'm actually going with John only because I'm putting my confidence in Peterson to have a big game. But I feel like I don't know. I'm going reluctantly with John.
And I'm surprised by that, Mike. With all due respect to Woj, I'm kind of confident with John. Miller is going to be good, I feel like, even though it's against Kansas City. Evans and Moncrief, granted, they're going against. I think they'll still be solid, not anything spectacular, but solid. Hopkins, yes, he can do stuff, but mediocre game, and Tate and Sanders PPR people, but I don't really like Woj's team as much. Stafford is good, favorable matchup, but I mean Hyde against Carolina, Jennings, New Orleans. I definitely feel more confident than you, Mike, and John.
I'm trying to figure out what that commotion is upstairs.
No. He's Bentley's saying, "Come on, Mike, you need to vote John." That's what he's saying.
I did pick John. You're not paying attention.
Yeah, but be more confident with it. That's all he's saying.
Yeah, considering I went 2-4 last week with my picks, I'm not confident with anything right now.
Who do you pick?
Me?
What's that? Yeah.
I was asking Justine who she picks.
Mm.
It's for fun, huh?
I know. No, I'm thinking. I don't know. For some reason, I really don't know why. I'm actually kind of leaning toward John.
Oh, fuck you!
Sorry.
You're out on a limb here, Larry.
You?
Get out. Leave.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's a couple people that I kind of question on both sides. But I feel like I don't know why. It's kind of a gut instinct, I guess.
That's okay. That's how
I feel like
usually
I
am.
feel like it's gonna be closer than you think, but I think it'll be John.
Mm-hmm. All right. So next up is James with his ridiculous trophy.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
he changed it. I didn't see that one. I saw
Yeah.
SpongeBob. That's what I saw.
Yes.
What, you didn't
I-
update it? Oh, crap. I only have Tom Brady in my lineup right now.
Yeah. I know. I put this up like 30 minutes ago. Why would you put Tom Brady in your lineup?
I see that. He's doing his thing where
Because
he
Tom Brady's like
wow.
the nowadays Brett Favre.
It's gonna bite you in the ass one day. You're gonna forget to reset your lineup, and you're gonna get screwed one day.
And you know what? When that happens, you can tell me I told you so.
I will.
Thank you, Larry.
Yeah. So this is the real projection for James's team, not
Oh,
the
that's
it's like no out projection.
Hey,
yeah,
Mike, do
I
you
mean,
like that?
Yeah, I do. Sure. Awful Kirk Cousins impression.
You like that?
Ugh.
You like that?
I was not liking Kirk Cousins on Monday night, but I'll just leave that there. I don't want to talk Kirk Cousins right now. Yeah, so this is a good time to bring up that Mo is. I don't know what it is, but Mo has just been having the worst luck in this league probably since she's joined, and
There aren't very many people that have worse luck than me, so.
no. I think the two ladies are just the two of you just can't get anything to go right for the most part. I don't know what it is. It's just I don't know. Game's weird sometimes.
Sorry, turning around this year, Mike.
You're off to 1-0 is you're off and running 1-0. Yeah, so basically Mo is down Keenan Allen for the season. She's down Zach Ertz, it looks like, for this week as well.
Yeah.
And Demaryius Thomas is apparently banged up. Her defense blew her a lead on Monday night. She loses somewhere, I don't know. I was in bed at that point, somewhere around 1 a.m. And now her team, which looked promising last week, all of a sudden looks a bit messy. James is favored by 11 points. How confident are you, James?
No comment.
No comment.
No comment.
I don't think we allow no comments on here.
Yeah. So it's a very opinionated podcast.
I think I'm gonna lose.
You think you're good? That's the worst confidence ever.
No, it's actually the best confidence ever because if everybody thinks I lose, then I win.
I guess.
I don't understand what the hell's going on right now.
I think that Chris James will win. I think that there's a lot of question marks on most team, unfortunately, with Allen. Thomas, I think he'll be okay. I never really liked Melvin Gordon that much, and yeah, I think that shootout in New York will help Chris James. I think Reed will get his, and like I don't really like Chris James's running backs as compared to Mo, but I think that Cooks, Jones, and Shepard will more than make up that point difference, and Rodgers.
Is everybody just assuming the Saints and Giants are going to play another 52-49 game on Sunday?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, the Giants defense sucks. They're not going to be that good, and we saw the Saints defense; they're atrocious.
I did watch this. I went back and watched the Saints game last weekend. Yeah, Oakland just blasted them apart.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, the Giants, Dallas's offense did not look good last week. And yet they were still able to move the ball up and down the field on the Giants. So I agree with you on the defense is not being good. I don't. To say they're going to play another 52-49 game is ridiculous. So
not 52-49, but I'm like, over 60. I'll take the over on that.
Okay. Are you taking the over? Did you put that in with your bookie?
No. Oh, I should use Sense Sports. Yeah. No, I didn't do Sense Sports again. I wish though. That was fun.
I forget. I was reminded about Sense Sports originally. I think Brendan and I were talking about it recently.
That's awesome.
Remember we were all obsessed with that. It was like, we bet a dime. Oh my god.
I'm obsessing over a 15-cent bet on Vancouver Edmonton December hockey game.
Or Manchester United for soccer.
Yes. Yeah. Glenn's strategy.
Manchester every time.
Honestly, I don't understand that fuckery at all, but sure. Hockey and soccer, they're apples and oranges. They go together, right?
Yeah, sorry. Just to get on with this, because this matchup I think is kind of maybe one of the more one-sided ones of the week. I think James wins easily.
Whoa, wait, Mike. So you're telling me I get 2 wins in a row?
This is you're going to start 2-0, and maybe I'll revise my prediction. You're only going to go 4-9 now. So
woohoo! Yeah.
So I'll spot you an extra win just because
Oh, you're such a sweetheart, Mike.
I know. Last week happened, so I still say last week was a bit of an accident, but we'll just go.
Yeah, with that. But so was I. So.
Yeah, sure. All right.
Oh God.
Since we're halfway through the games, where are you on your drink count, James?
This makes about a baker's dozen for me.
Since we started?
Yeah.
Not bad. That's not bad.
Those brewskis.
Yeah, I've been following the super fans there, Mike.
Oh shit! Bentley's bunch.
Yeah, Bentley makes his appearance. He will be on here live once eventually, but not tonight.
Scared of the camera.
Yeah, we'll get him on camera. So yeah, my team against Rob's, which I brought this up to look at the Thursday night scores. Only Rob and Larry had anybody even playing last night. I guess that's kind of what everybody else thinks of Buffalo and the Jets. Yeah, so there wasn't a whole lot going on. Rob, basically, I think McCoy and Marshall put up close to their projections.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Marshall put up his projection and McCoy put up 2 less. So not a whole lot happened. Did Marshall get hurt last night? I did not watch.
Yeah, well, it was a scare. So he got taken down, and it looked like he really twisted his knee pretty bad. He was rolling around on the ground for a little bit. Got up, tried to jog. He went to the locker room. I think they called it a sprain, but he did come
Okay.
back. He missed a little bit of time, but they're saying it's not supposed to be that bad. But it was scary.
Okay. Yeah. So apparently, I'm favored by 14 point, almost 15 points. I don't know why. There's holes in my lineup that I'm not thrilled about. Specifically, tight end, quarterback. Apparently, I had 3 quarterbacks on my team and nobody could play quarterback last week. So I'm pretty sure none of my quarterbacks threw a touchdown pass. How that's possible, I don't know.
Did you have Tyrod too?
What's that?
You have Tyrod?
Yeah, and I sat him. I sat him last night, thinking I can't trust them. And hey, Cousins is playing Dallas; he'll probably light them up. Of course, Tyrod had. I think he had a few long touchdown passes.
He had like I think he had like 30 points or
Ugh.
he had a ton of
The
points.
official total's 23, but he did have 3 touchdown passes.
Yeah, 23's. Yeah, I would have liked 23 points.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I haven't. I dropped him in my other one, but I know that pain.
Hey, Mike, can I ask you this?
Sure.
How painful is it for you as a Cowboys fan to have Carson Wentz and Kirk Cousins on your fantasy team?
Well, it's funny. It's funny. I dropped Dak to pick up Carson Wentz.
You're committing a Cowboys sin there, Michael.
Yeah.
Wow.
I officially have no Dallas players on my team right now.
You're going to Cowboy hell.
Not only do I have no Dallas players, I actually picked up not only Carson Wentz but also Chris Thompson from Washington. So now I have two Washington players and 2 Eagles. I learned that playing favorites with your favorite team, a la Brendan Riley, does not work very well in fantasy football.
Hey, got him a tie.
You might want to tell Brendan a thing or two about that. And that's coming from a Giants fan.
Trust me, there's no talking to Brendan about that. It's a shame. He may figure it out. He might have if he hadn't locked into drafting Antonio Brown. So
yeah,
which is the only thing keeping his team afloat. But yeah, so it's to keep me from being too biased. James, how about Rob against myself? What do you think?
Well, I would say Rob, but you did pick up a bunch of NFC East foes, so I'll give you some credit there, Mike. I'll give you the nod this one. I think you Rob had a good start, but nod.
So you're picking me because I picked up 2 NFC East guys that aren't even in my lineup this week.
Hey, that's the fuckery of fantasy.
Well, Larry,
I'm going against you. I'm going to vote for Rob.
Oh!
I think that Andrew Luck's going to have a monster game, or at least a better game. I think that Edelman will get his against Miami. Giovanni scares me. Cousins scares me a little bit. I think that AJ Green might have a little bit of a difficult time against Pittsburgh. And I'm not a big Jordan Matthews fan, so I'm going with Rob on the upset of the week.
I couldn't play Frank Gore against Denver, which is why I'm going with Gio. I just felt like I could not play Gore in that game.
Yes, that's true. I wouldn't play Gore either.
And Gary Barnidge, hopefully playing with Josh McCown again will allow him to.
Hey, don't make me play the Isaiah Crowell hype video again, because you know.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
I'd like to do a All-NJ football video chat first, if you don't mind.
A what?
Does this involve your clothes?
No.
Sweet.
But it involves my running back situation.
What?
You want to make a trade?
What would you like for Frank Gore?
I'm not entertaining.
Come on!
Trades right now. I'm not trading in the view of the public. You know, we're
Do
streaming
it.
live on YouTube. I'm not doing negotiating on YouTube.
Do it.
Here.
Do
In Brendan's terms, I'll trade you my crappy running back for your third string running back because that makes so much sense.
No, that doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, that was the joke.
Yeah,
Because Brendan always loves my trades.
Yeah, he does.
yeah, Brendan does. Well, we're going to talk about Brendan next, which I have a lot to say about Brendan and his
Yeah,
lucky.
fuck Brendan.
Yeah. And I guess to be courteous, I should ask Justine who she thinks is going to win my game, even though I have a feeling I know who she's going to pick.
Who do you think I'm gonna pick?
Probably not me.
You know, I feel so. This is totally not because you didn't pick me last week at
Okay.
all.
All right, so Brendan, moving on.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna go with Rob. I'm with Larry.
What?
Everybody picking against me, even though I have all these check marks.
Husband and wife agree.
That was just
How
a
did you pick
coincidence. I normally would just pick against him just to pick against him, but
You're a smart woman.
I don't know, like I still don't know how I feel about Cousins. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Solid reasoning.
I had too many margaritas, I'm sorry, but
Solid.
I think that
Well,
Rob-
somebody's having a fun Friday night.
That is solid analysis right
Listen,
there, Mike.
Listen, today was the iPhone launch. I'm exhausted and I had alcohol, so
Hey,
Solid
Justine, cheers to you.
Woo!
Cheers to you. You see the beer? Yeah.
Yes, I see it.
analysis. We see it, Chris. Shotgun that.
Uh,
Hell no. I'm too old for that shit.
all right. So,
Hey, when do we get our ad revenue, Mike?
what's that?
When do
We
we
need
get
to
our
get
ad
about-
revenue from these
We
videos?
need to get about 55,000 more people to watch, apparently.
Damn it, really?
Yes, probably.
Really good.
So, yeah. All right.
That's hilarious.
This is the first thing I saw when I put this page up. I don't even know what to think about this over here and then this over here.
The more the one on the left. Glenn's thing is way better.
I think it's more than appropriate. That's
Can you
hysterical.
get me my phone? It's over on the thing. I want to text him. That is awesome. It's on the thing. No.
Yeah, tell Glenn to get his fat ass over here.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know what to think about that. It's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
God, that's awesome.
So Larry, you were very
Yep.
you were very upset about the tie game.
Oh, salty as hell. When freaking Eli Manning throws that touchdown to Victor Cruz, like on the last play, I was so pissed. I was salty.
Cruz, my boy.
Yeah, I know. I should have. I got too cute with. I really bought in on that Christian Michael hype train. I was all aboard. That did not help. But I was salty. I was so mad. I really thought that was an easy win to help me get through this Charles-less period. But damn, was I pissed at Brendan.
And
Brendan,
as the woman that lives with
Furious.
him, he was really
I was
furious.
furious.
and the sad thing was, I believe Brendan was pissed off about the tie, which
Are you
I
serious?
don't even
that
know.
lucky bastard. Torrey Smith only got him 3 points.
All he needed, I thought he was.
Tied. I thought he lost.
I thought Brendan. I saw that Torrey Smith had got 3 points very early in that game. I was thinking, oh, Brendan's going to win. Torrey Smith only needs one more catch. Nope, can't get another
Torrey
catch.
Sucks as a former Torrey Smith owner.
I don't understand Brendan's lineup. Just looking at it right now, he needs to find another defense, please. Somebody tell him, please.
Oh, they're gonna get trounced.
I mean, if the fact that he's trying to play the Giants defense against New Orleans is ridiculous.
Mike, he has Steelers against Cincinnati on his bench.
I don't understand Brendan's. And the worst thing is he might have to pick up a tight end because Eifert's out. Gronkowski is once again a question mark, and he dropped Will Tye, which on one end is a good thing. On the other hand, he may not have a tight end.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what he's doing. I mean,
Hey, Mike.
yes.
I serious question for you.
Yeah.
Is Brendan the taco of the league?
Yeah, for a while it was Jordan Palladino, but I'm thinking, I don't know if Brendan can fit that. What do you think, Larry?
I think so. I mean, like just like this Torrey Smith as a wide receiver 3. Like his lucky bullshit was so strong last week. Like
He's still
I'm
salty.
still salty. Like Victor Cruz, like he sucks. There's no way that he catches those balls. And Torrey Smith, goddamn. And Antonio Brown gets like a 40-point game. Are you serious? And at
Well,
the end, they're
Brown's
just chucking it up to him. Like, why don't you shadow him with fucking Richard Norman, for God's sake? So salty.
Not at all the words of a bitter man.
To be fair, as I said, if it wasn't for Antonio Brown, Brendan would probably lose out the rest of the season.
Oh, he would have gotten crushed.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah. As far as this matchup, I think apparently ESPN only thinks Glenn's going to win by 9. I don't know why they think he's only going to win by 9. I guess Antonio Brown factor. I don't know. But I think Glenn's team's probably going to score higher than they did against Justine last week. I like a lot of the matchups, especially Russell Wilson against the Rams. Anybody, as you said, anybody that plays for the Saints or the Saints. Deshaun Jackson against Dallas, I like. Theo Riddick was ridiculously awesome for the Lions last week. There's a lot of good things to like about Glenn's team. I think Glenn wins and wins very, very, very big.
I say that Brendan does not eclipse 100 points for the week.
Yeah.
Bold prediction.
James, anything a little less biased, please.
Upset alert.
Oh, no.
Here's the reason, all right? And I'll put it in bullet points. Stephon Diggs. Well, first of all, not going to front Amari Cooper, David Johnson, Mark Ingram. Those are solid. Russell Wilson, I have my concerns. Granted, it is LA, but I think Jeff Fisher is going to be pretty PO'd by the week 1 performance. And Russell Wilson, a little banged up. Stephon Diggs, hit or miss. He's like a poor man's Mike Wallace, in my opinion. Not sure if anybody agrees with that or if everybody does, but
Go ahead.
Going to Brendan's team, I mean, it's Eli Manning, and I just have a feeling he's going to have an autistic moment and just go balls to the wall. Running backs, they don't compare to Glenn, but I mean, between you and me, I wish I had Jesus on my team. I mean, Antonio Brown, he's like, he really is for Brendan's team. T.Y. Hilton, solid. I understand the concern with Torrey Smith. He's sketchy at the third wideout, but I think both teams have their holes. And, I think the difference maker is if Gronk plays. If Gronk plays, I think Brendan wins. Do you just I'm also kind of salty with Mike from last week, but I can see this going either way, but I'll give Mr. Donald Trump and the Brendan Riley team a thumbs up there, Bob.
By the way, and I don't think I've said this on the webcast yet, Brendan came up with the absolute worst team name and team logo in forever. I don't understand.
Preach.
It's still amusing to me for some reason. I don't know why.
Um, and James, are you just like everybody else and just want to see Glenn start 0-2? Because I think everybody kind of wants to see Glenn start 0-2 a little bit, just because
I mean, no, it's not a matter of me wanting Glenn to be 0-2. I do think he has a team that can go to the playoffs. It's just for this week, especially. And again, my prediction is solely if Gronk plays. But, Eli Manning, you never know what Eli Manning you're going to get. I think for this week, and this is coming from a Giants fan, you honestly and wholeheartedly, you never know what Eli Manning you're going to get. But I think this weekend he can put up close to 30 points. I think Antonio Brown's going to have a good game because he's Jesus. He's also Antonio Brown. And, the key is, does Gronk, Mr. Party Gronkers play? And I think he does. Cruz, if he salsa dances in the end zone, I think that's good. Brendan, when you watch this podcast, please, for the love of God and all that is holy, take the Giants defense out and put in the Steelers, because that will help you, in my opinion. Because Drew Brees, he's going to do the dirty and throw on you. Put in the Steelers defense. Please. One Giants fan to another. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Brendan doesn't watch this thing, and even if he did, he'd probably ignore you just because. So
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I mean,
I have
he
a
does
fun
hate
fact.
my trades, so.
Glenn says that his logo was all Alyssa, which is hilarious.
I can see
I
that.
knew I liked
Spot on. I like her. She's a hell of a fiance and going to be a hell of a wife, and I'm very happy for the both of them. And she's a hell of a cook, by the way. I thought the food she made at the draft party, phenomenal. Thank you.
Yeah, it was very good. Yes, thank you. Back. we got very emotional there, James.
Yeah.
Hey, Throw's got to eat. Throw's got to eat. Glenn knows what I'm talking about.
I'm
Hey.
assuming, Larry, you're picking Glenn.
Yes.
Okay. Is Justine still there, or did she leave?
Yeah, I'm here.
Who do you pick?
So, I mean, okay, so no, I actually have words this time. So,
Hey,
so Brendan's team, I think if we're all correct in that the Giants Saints game is going to be high scoring, I think Eli will probably put up some decent numbers. Obviously, Brown is going to do well because he's freaking Antonio Brown. If Gronk plays, Gronk pretty much never really disappoints. But other than that, though, I'm not really feeling the rest of the team. Victor Cruz, ever since Odell came to the team, he hasn't really done diddly. And when I owned Hilton, he was not very consistent for me, so I think I'm still a little salty against him. So I'm going to go with Glenn. I think I was honestly shocked that I beat Glenn last week, even though I, obviously hyped up my own team, but I was kind of shocked at how, not that he had a bad score, but I think his team had potential to do more damage to me than he did. So I think he'll make up for that this week. So I'm going Glenn.
Glenn didn't play Theo Riddick last week, did he?
I
don't think he did.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that would have helped him a lot.
He did have one or two people on his bench that probably, if he had played, would have done the job.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, well, that's how it works.
How it goes.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna wrap up with Larry's team, Mr. 0-1, against everybody, against everybody's most hated owner, Chris Birthright. Larry's off to a very good start. Matt Forte and Eric Becker were outstanding last night. So he's already got a 54-point lead. Even though apparently you haven't picked up a kicker yet.
Yeah. I'm waiting for Charles to get declared out so I can get my IR slot back because I don't want to drop anybody. But they keep saying he's doubtful. It's bullshit. I know he's not playing.
Yeah, you're probably gonna have to wait till like 11:30 on Sunday
I know.
morning.
That's what I'm hoping. That's my plan is the wait, and then otherwise I'll have to drop somebody.
Yeah. So this matchup, Chris Birthright, he got killed by Todd Gurley last week when the Rams decided to lay an egg against San Francisco, and as a result, he has pulled Gurley out of the lineup this week.
I know. I saw that.
Now they are playing Seattle, but was that a smart move?
Oh, I'll say yes. I think it is a smart move. I'm actually really worried about Gurley in general, just from how awful the Rams really played. I mean, I know that they're gonna have a tough time about San Francisco, but damn, I didn't think that they would get blanked. Like that's bad.
When they played Dallas in the first preseason game, I think I told you, Larry, that I talked on and on about Prescott looked good, and then I think I mentioned the Rams look really, really bad.
Yeah.
And I think they confirmed that Monday night. They're a really, really bad team.
Yeah.
Other than Gurley on offense, they don't have anybody, and that includes on the offensive line. They have nothing. So
I heard that
Gurley
they just promoted what's his name, the quarterback. I think they made him the backup now.
Jared Goff is not going
Yeah.
to save that team. Jared Goff
Yeah.
is not saving that team. He's going to get killed. Anyway, moving on from that, I guess it's a safe bet also considering TJ Yeldon. He did. Chris Ivory last week. I don't know what happened to him. He was apparently in the hospital for mysterious reasons.
Yeah, that was weird.
So Yeldon ended up starting and playing well. So as long as he continues to start, Chris is okay, I guess, at running back. He also got killed. You said last week, Larry, and you were dead on about this. The Arizona wide receivers. You didn't like him having both of them, and it turned out Floyd and Brown both just didn't do anything. Brown especially didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So Chris's team, I did like. Now all of a sudden things don't look so set in stone. At least Larry, Virgil Green. Any reason why you picked him up?
Because I don't really trust Bennett. I mean, my original plan, like I said last week, was I wasn't gonna have to start Bennett, but Justine got Witten from me.
Mhm.
So I figured I'd roll with Bennett. I didn't think it would be that bad, but I mean, I think he was mostly a blocker on all of his plays for at least like a good majority of them. I mean, Virgil Green, he's playing the Colts, who have a pretty weak defense. So I'm hoping that maybe Virgil Green's the answer, but at the very least, I'll at least get a good couple weeks out of them.
Yeah, I don't mind the pickup because I do know Simeon in the last week. Simeon did target him in the red zone in the end zone a couple times.
Yeah, he had that one ball that was just tipped at the line. He was wide open though.
Right, yeah. And as far as Dez is concerned, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I don't
don't
feel
know.
bad about it. If I had a better option, I think I would start him, but no, I don't. I'm just gonna try and weather down the Dez ship.
Yeah.
I know that he complained a little bit this week, so hopefully they feed him.
Yeah. Considering, I mean, for me to pick is easy. Considering Larry entered this week an 11-point underdog, I believe after last night he completely flipped that. He is now up 11 points. So this is a completely different matchup than what it looked like the other night, and that also doesn't include the fact that Larry's going to gain probably 7 points projection from a kicker. So James, are you on board the Larry train this week with me?
Toot toot.
Yeah.
Mike, as much as I want to, I cannot.
How'd I guess?
Larry,
All right.
it's nothing against you. And Mike, as much as I'm only going to win 2 more games this year, it's not against you either. I mean, where do I begin? Do I agree with Chris going 2 Arizona wideouts? I do not. But in turn, I have my reservations about Jarvis Landry. Jacksonville's defense, I feel, is underrated. I mean, Smith, he kept the bad man in check for the most part.
Did you just quote Stephen A. Smith?
I did.
Ugh.
I mean, granted he had 3 touchdowns, but only 199 yards passing. Danny Woodhead, more of a PPR guy. I think Jacksonville, especially now Keenan Allen's out, they're going to focus more on the passing game of the running backs with San Diego. Virgil Green, solid, love him. Willie Snead had a great game last week. I feel like the Ravens Cleveland game is a trap game a little bit. So, granted, you're up 54 points. I understand that's a huge hole for Chris. And I'm not saying this for popularity points or to piss anybody off. You look at Cam, I think Cam's got a favorable matchup against San Francisco because, granted, they have a good defense. It's not a great defense. I like his running backs. Don't love them, but I like them. And again, even though I don't agree with the 2 Arizona wideouts, OBJ, he's going to do his thing. I think one of those 2 Arizona wideouts will get a touchdown. Thomas, not a bad tight end. I think they're going to split at tight end. I think it's going to be much closer than people think, but I definitely think Chris, I'm going to say by 2 points.
By 2 points. That's very specific.
And it's oddly specific.
No, it's going to be very close because obviously, Larry, you got Forte, Decker, they did their thing. They got you 54 points. They had a hell of a game. If Chris gets the win, it's going to be extremely close. So, and if he wins, it's going to be by just a couple of points. It's not going to be like, oh, he's going to beat you by 30, 40 points. That's definitely not going to be the case. However, Cam Newton's Cam Newton. OBJ is OBJ. He's got some solid running backs. And Arizona's wide receivers, they got a good quarterback to throw into them. So whatever points you get from Palmer, they're going to reap the benefits as well. So
if it's Fitzgerald.
It neutralizes one of the things when you do that, especially with Chris having 2 wide receivers, is it neutralizes how much he can gain back in points.
And I guess that's kind of the point of getting across because it's kind of a wash in some aspects. And I mean, if you think about it, if Carson Palmer throws a touchdown pass to Floyd and Brown, awesome. Palmer gets, 4 points each for the touchdown pass and maybe a point each, depending on how long the touchdown pass is. But if you think about it, wideout points are going to be even more, and that's going to close the gap a little bit. So I'm not saying Bastard City Fish is going to win head and shoulders. I think this game is going to be much closer than you guys have made it clear. I mean, Mike and Larry, I see what you're saying. But, I think Chris is going to surprise some people this week.
There's the only wild card I see in this thing is that Chris has the Seahawks defense against the Rams. Only because if the Rams play as bad as they did last week, there's the potential to have a huge, I guess, swing point swing there. Yeah. Defenses can be dangerous if the defense puts up a big week. With that said, I mean, last week defenses played very poorly overall across the league. I think there was only like two defenses that scored 20-plus points. So you never know what's going to happen with defenses. I can't see Larry losing this, honestly. Not after what Forte and Decker did. 54 points, even though Larry only has 8 players left and Chris is 10. 54 points is a lot to make up.
It is
a big gap. It's a big gap.
It is.
So we'll see what happens. I'm assuming Justine's going to pick Larry, but I'll let her chip in.
I am. I think my only concern with Larry's team is the same concern that I have with my work league is the Des Bryant factor. Because he screwed us both last week in different leagues. So that pissed me off. I think I think that could make or break things. As far as the defense thing is concerned, like, yeah, he's birthright's got the Seahawks at LA, but I think the Ravens Cleveland is gonna be okay too. I don't. So I think it's really just going to come down to whether or not Dez is going to put up a lovely goose egg again or not, because that would hurt a lot. Because then that would pretty much that would take away pretty much most of what your projected lead is. You know what I mean? But
agreed.
But I think you'll win. You just need Dez to do something, and you'll win. If he doesn't show up, then you might be in trouble.
I agree with what you're saying, Justine, but just going back to the Ravens-Cleveland game, granted RG3's out, not that he was anything amazing or done anything amazing yet in the league, but don't count out their backup quarterback, Josh McCown. I mean, he's had some games.
Oh, come on.
He's had some games. And Field Yates is kind of high on him a little bit. I mean, and Field Yates, I'm serious. He was a scout in the NFL for Kansas City. I'm just saying, don't underestimate Cleveland. Dog pound. And again, I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout for Chris. That would be absolutely insane to say. I'm just saying I can potentially see the upset, and I've said it in previous chats and I'll say it again. Crazy things happen in fantasy football. I mean, for example, Mike's pick for the Super Bowl in our league lost last week, and then somebody that he projected 3-10 won. So
I think Chris James is salty about that projection.
Yeah.
Wait. Me salty? No. I was willingly accepting it. Yeah. I mean, I'm only going to win 2 more times, Larry.
Yeah, you're also remembering, James, that we're 1 week into the season. So, I mean,
I know. I just do it just to bust everybody's balls. This is all in good fun.
Oh, I know. But Josh McCown, come on.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna quote Coach Lou, and Mo and Glenn know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Oh, God.
All right. Well.
Yeah, I think I surpassed my alcohol intake for tonight, and Justine, thank you for going margarita for beer with me. I appreciate it.
You got it.
All right.
I don't think. Whatever. All right.
Come on, Mike. I'm making this fun.
We gotta. We're gonna wrap it up now.
Okay.
Final thoughts. I have a few of them, but I will start with James.
Rub-a-dub-dub, thanks for the alcohol. Yay, God.
Just wrap up.
Just making it fun, Mike.
Larry, you can go ahead.
I'm gonna want to play the Isaiah Crowell hype video.
I can't show the video on YouTube.
Can you hear it?
Barely.
Take a ride in that. Isaiah Crowell, he's coming back. League MVP, 1,000-yard rushing, 1,500 yards receiving. You heard it here
Is
first.
that your boy, Larry?
Yep, you heard it here first.
Oh, yeah.
All right, your turn.
Me?
Yep.
Oh, I don't know what to say. I've never had closing.
Throw up the X for Dez.
I'm not throwing up the X for Dez. I'm still salty about that. That
Dez.
pissed me off. That cost me I lost in my other league all because of him. I should have won. Oh, that pissed me off.
Free league.
I don't care. I work with these people. I lose in this league. I see everybody like 3 times a year. I lose in that one. I take shit like every day.
It's okay, Pumpkin. It's okay.
It's not okay. It'll never be okay. I don't know. I'm still pissed at you, Mike. That's really all I have to say. I literally told Larry like 30 times before he jumped on, was like, make sure you tell Mike that I said fuck you.
What was the first thing I said? I said, Mike, just seen as a message, fuck you, and your predictions suck. And I said, like, I forget something else.
Guys, if I can quote the almighty Glenn Murphy.
Oh, and I'm the better Muscat. I just want to throw that out there.
I did forget to bring this up. Just Eats in first place by herself right now.
Yeah.
Gotta love the fucking of fantasy football.
Yeah. I don't know.
An extra fuck you, Mike.
Yeah, I haven't checked, but that may be the first time ever. So
Probably.
Probably.
I'm gonna say probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, the only thing
Shit.
I just wanted to finish. So I play on softball on Sundays, so I'm not around to watch afternoon football. And all I heard about when I got home was the nonsense that took place on ESPN with the apparently the whole thing just blew up. And apparently it almost caused like a total apocalypse because I just went on Twitter just to get an idea of how people were like dealing with this, and people were practically dying because they didn't know how many points Drew Brees had at 2:15 p.m. on Sunday.
Hey, Mike, just to give you an idea, just like firsthand experience, Mo and I were so distraught. We met up at an Applebee's and just started chugging beers. It was brutal. Just trying to numb the pain.
Oh, no.
No, I'm serious. You can even ask Mo. I mean, Mo will vouch for me. Like, we were having like 4 or 5 beers. I was having 4 or 5 beers. She probably had like 2 or 3. But then again, she's an athlete. I'm not, so
the only thing I want to mention, the only last thing I want to mention about this is what this should have taught people beyond the fact that the whole fantasy football is just a game thing, is that you should always have some scrap paper, a pen, and know how to do basic like 3rd grade math.
The Dark Ages.
Yes.
Hurrah.
Yes, I did before this league started. I played in a league that, believe it or not, did not have live scoring, and in 2007, and I had to actually on Sunday night go through all the box scores and write it and add up the statistics by hand, and I did not die. So
nuts. You're nuts.
Yeah, that sounds ridiculous.
But hell, I mean, I've just. Playing fantasy football in the 1980s and 1990s was probably ridiculous as well, but
Oh yeah, that was by candlelight. It had to have been.
I've said it plenty of times before. I would not run a fantasy football league if we were still stuck in the pre-internet days.
Yes, and by the way, I think we just had a visitor come in.
I don't think that's us.
Well, that's too bad because we're going to be
for camera.
we're going to be finishing up.
Yeah, it's past our bedtime.
Yes, it is, and we've been on for an hour and 10 minutes or so.
Oh
but
damn!
that's all I
Whoa,
wanted
crazy,
to mention.
crazy.
That's all I wanted to.
Well, I guess we're done, folks. Good night.
We lost Mike.
Yes. Good night, Larry. Good night, Justine.
Good night.
Good night, Chris James.
Good night.
Menostra.
Is he back?
Yeah, he's back.
Oh, welcome back.
Hello.
Did Bentley screw you again?
Yes, he did.
Bentley.
So yeah, I basically finished with what I was going to say. Oh, and I was going to what I can't remember what else I was going to say, but yeah, that's it. I don't know who just joined, but we're all finished here, so you can go back to bed.
Okay.
All right, we'll be back. I guess next Friday at 9.